Today we're going to do how to use joint locks. So in part one, I gave you a general idea what joint locks are. Part two, this one, I'm going to show you how you should train them. And the rest of the series is going to be each individual lock and how they work. So why joint locks fail so much, like I said, is people try to put them on. So this guy's like this, he makes a hard fist, he's strong, he's punching, and they grab them and they try to make this happen, and then the guy resists, and then he punches me in the face and he beats me to a pulp because I'm not smart enough to hit him and soften him up or ding him and make him suffer first before I go into this. Sometimes I'm just not that bright. It is what it is. But what I find how joint locks work is it's not that I try to do them, it's how we end up. So if we end up in something where we're grappling, and you see how this hand just turned like this? There it is. Not because I wanted it to, but because I recognized the structure and I made it happen. He grabs me like this and we end up like this, right? That's what happens right there. Or this happens. Not because I want it to, but because that's what worked. Now, on that one, I originally was going into this. But as he moved, he turned, so I just flexed into the next one. And that's a lot of joint locking. A lot of joint locking is not going, okay, I'm going to put this lock on. Because when you do that, and he improvises, because instinctively out of pain, and he just did that, he tried to wiggle out of it. And so as he's trying to wiggle out of it, if you're trying to force the joint lock onto him that doesn't fit, it's not going to happen. You have to feel, hey, he changed. Oh, good. Good for him. It was a bad choice for him. I can make this worse. Let's see how we can make this worse. It doesn't matter. But that's how you do it. You know, he puts a hand on me, he goes like this, and I turn. Look, that's where this ends up. Not that I wanted to do that. That's just how it ended up. He grabs me, and I ended up like this. Well, look, there I am. A lot of times as we're grappling, I start moving, and he starts moving. But as we start moving, things change in body position. See how that? Look like that. What happens is we start moving, and look at that. That happens. Or he grabs on somewhere, right? And we start ending up in things. Or he grabs somewhere else. And, you know, look, that happens. And look, it's not a standard Kotegaeshi. It's not. I have him by the wrist, but it worked. And that was good. Why? Because it was there. So what you have to do to practice this is at first, you want to do the repetitive nonsense that we all have to do, right? He grabs and we do this thing over and over again. Or he grabs and we go into the basic releases and takedowns, and that's fine. Once you have that down, what you need to do slowly with a partner is have them start to kind of push you and move you. And then as this happens, see how I rolled? Look at his hand. All of a sudden these things show. Right? He grabs me somewhere else. Right? I start figuring out, how does this happen? He grabs me somewhere else. Right? Oh, look, there it is. Look at that, love that one. Again, it's not that I want to do it. It's just he gave me that. Okay, take advantage of what he has. It's so much easier if you use what they gave you instead of trying to impose your will on them and saying, okay, I'm going to crank this joint lock on, which doesn't work anyways. And again, it progressively picks up. When you get better partners and you're better at it and you have enough control not to hurt people, they come at you harder. They come at you harder. And then keep in mind, too, there are times when he goes to do this and maybe I got to ding him first, or ding him first, or ding him first before this happens. Then you start adding the rest of your work in. Start adding your hits, your throws, your kicks, you know, eyes, ears, whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, grabs, anything that causes pain. And this stuff starts showing up, not because I want it to happen, but because it does. You have to go with the water, you got to go with the flow. If they give it to you, you use it. You don't sit there and say, hey, I'm going to do this, because it doesn't work. So start off slow with the basics. Progressively get to a little more contact and a little more motion, and then make it harder and harder and harder until you really start to get good at it. And then you add it into work like your sparring. Do that, your joint locks will get much better. So, for the rest of the series, I'm going to go over individual joint locks, and I'm going to show you how each one of them works. This is Bill Koenig for Straight Circle Martial Arts. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I will see you again next time.